Good morning, students. Today we will discuss how SHM can be applied to few more examples. Already we have seen the examples of a simple pendulum, then compound pendulum, and we have already seen how SHM can be applied to a mass attached to a spring in different arrangements. Already we have seen different arrangements. So I hope all of you can understand now how this SHM can be applied in different cases. So today we will be applying to the example of liquid in U-tube and a core. So let us see that if you are able to understand, then kindly see this and try to understand what actually going on for the calculation of restoring force, because that is the most important part in our discussion of applying the concept of simple harmonic motion to any object, and that is to find restoring force. So we are into the part 5 of module 2, oscillations, where we are discussing simple harmonic motion. Module 2 comprises of different parts: simple harmonic motion, damped oscillations, forced oscillations and their mathematical analysis, resonance. But right now we are into this simple harmonic motion part. And Dr. Pradeep Sharma from University of Engineering and Management. So kindly note down my number and email ID, so in case you want to discuss some problems or doubts. These are the topics we are going to discuss in second module. A list of important topics, but right now we are into this free vibration part, and we are trying to understand how to apply the concept of simple harmonic motion in different aspects, as we are taking some examples to understand that. So now I will discuss oscillations of liquid in a U-tube. So this is a U-tube, and if you fill any liquid of any density in it, and by giving appropriate pressure from one end, suppose we provide some pressure here, so accordingly the liquid will go down. But if we remove the pressure from here, now the liquid will try to oscillate. In general conditions, it will stop after some time due to the frictional forces, but here it is oscillating because resistive forces we are considering are negligible. So on one end it is going up to this point, see the same, and on another end it is going up to this point, the same, and in between there is some mean position. So this distance here to here is same, or we can say from the mean position up to this point, this distance, and this distance is same, like this. So if these type of oscillations are going on, if x is the displacement of the liquid from the mean position, and the density of the liquid is rho, so we can find the mass. And whatsoever the weight of this mass column, that will be responsible for the oscillation. So force responsible to make oscillation will be the weight of the liquid column. That you need to understand in this case. It's the most important part. Again, I am repeating, because if you are seeing here, when it is at this point, the liquid column is of this length. Okay, from here to here. And this weight of this liquid column will be the responsible force, and that will be the volume of the liquid of height 2x, because that 2x height is this x and this x. This is the 2x height into density of liquid into g. That will be the weight of this liquid column. So what is the volume? 2x and A. A is the area. So area multiplied by the height, that is the volume, and this density rho and g. So this will be the weight of this liquid column. So in equilibrium, height of levels from bottom dl. So mass of the liquid is 12A rho, and we can say that this mass and the acceleration generated will be equal to the restoring force. So this mass 2LA rho d2x by dt square will be equal to minus 2xa rho g. This is the restoring force in our case. If we solve it, then we can find d2x by dt square plus g by L x is equal to 0, or omega square is equal to g by L. So as soon as we find the value of omega square, we can easily find the value of time period. So T is equal to 2 pi under root capital L by G, and if total length of the liquid column is L, small l, then this small l can be taken as 2L, where this L is small l by 2, and in that case time period reduces to 2 pi under root L by 2. So this small l is actually the total length of the liquid. And just moving to last slide, this. If you see here, from this point to this point, this is the total L. And if equilibrium, when this is at the mean position here, this is L on one side, this is L on another side. So this will be 2L. So that we have taken here, this L, and this 2L is that length. So that way we found the time period, and this small L is available. So the most important part while calculating the time period for this factor, for this equation in YouTube, is actually finding the mass and finding the weight. If we can find these, so we will make it equal as per the condition of simple harmonic motion, and we can find omega square. So hope you understand that how to find the time period of the liquid in a U-tube oscillation. Further, if we are putting one cork of cylindrical shape, we can put in any shape, but right now we are taking a cylindrical shape in water like this. So this is the water, and this is cylindrical shape cork having the area as A, with some density sigma. This is the density sigma, but the density of the liquid is rho. When this pore is in the water and it is not under any external pressure, it will be at equilibrium. But as soon as we push it from here, if we push it downwards with some force, it will take some displacement x. It will take some displacement x. And if we release this force from here, this water will push this pore upward. So in that way, this pore will start taking oscillations. So this is it. Any cylindrical block, mass m, length capital L, radius r, density sigma, floats in liquid of density rho with length h in water. This length h in water, the total length is capital L, but only this h length is in water and it is at equilibrium. When block is depressed by a distance x, then due to this cylinder will displace some water. And whatsoever the liquid it will displace, pi r square rho x, it will create the thrust. Okay. So this thrust will be pi r square rho x multiplied by g. This is the weight of the displaced water. This is, and this will work as a restoring force, and it is proportional to the displacement. So it means m d2x by dt square is actually this restoring force minus pi r square rho x. What is this pi r square? It is actually the area where this radius of this cylindrical block is r. So if we solve it, this pi r square and pi r square will go cancelled, and we will be having d2x by dt square plus rho g by sigma Lx. So we can find omega square as rho g by sigma L, and we can find the time period. So the time period of a cork of cylindrical shape, and if you see here, it is t is equal to 2 pi under root rho capital L by sigma capital L by rho g. Now we are moving to another example of torsional pendulum. This is a very important pendulum used in wristwatches. You might have seen this. You kindly see. You might have seen this in various watches. This type of thing. So this is the mean position, and it is taking oscillations of theta in plus and minus direction. So it's a spiral hairspring provides necessary restoring torque. This is the hairspring, and the force is actually the torque working on it, and it is proportional to the angular displacement theta. So tau is equal to minus k theta, where k is again torsional constant. And we know that in case of rotation, tau is equal to I alpha. Alpha is the angular acceleration, and angular acceleration is d2 theta by dt square. So I d2 theta by dt square. That will be equal to minus k theta. So you can easily find that d2 theta by dt square plus k by I theta is 0. And if we compare this with the equation of simple harmonic motion, so omega square will be k by I. It means omega is under root k by I, so that time period is 2 pi under root I by t. So this is a very simple calculation of time period of a torsional pendulum. Okay, I hope you understand this. It's very simple, but definitely few concepts of rotational uh, part is there. Tau and I alpha, the value of I, value of torque, angular acceleration, that need to be understood. So in this way, you can easily find out the things. So I hope you understand all these things. We'll be discussing a few more numericals based on simple harmonic motion, and we'll discuss few other concepts of simple harmonic motion in connection to circular motion. So in my next class, we'll see. Thank you.